Hey, this is Carla from the Butcher Babies.
This is George Corner Fisher from Cannibal Corpse.
Hey, this is Rex from Kill Devil Hill. It's Wednesday 13.
This is Dad from Devil Driving.
This is Motorist from Quad. You're listening to Rabid Noise
on Rabid Radio.
Turn it up.
And we're back on Rabid Noise. That was The Chosen Few from The Charge's latest album, Order of the Owl. And here to talk about the album, All Things The Charge, drummer Ben Cuthbert. What's going on, man?
Man, I'm sitting here in nice cold Melbourne, envying you up in nice warm Queensland, Gold Coast. So, everything's going well. We're getting ready to play this week at the Elephant Wheelbarrow with Tequila Mockingbird and Ice on Mercury from Adelaide. So we're looking forward to that off the back of our album launch tour here in Melbourne last weekend. So things are going really cool for us at the moment.
Yeah, by the sounds of it, man. Because I've been following it all on Facebook, and it looks like things are just all coming up Millhouse for you guys. Yeah,
a lot of work's been put in behind the scenes, and the tour was put together a few months ago, and just hooking up with all the cool bands that we're going to be playing with up in Queensland with the shows that were coming up in November, but just all the shows that we've been doing, Adelaide and Sydney. We did Canberra, and we kicked it off in Geelong at the start of the month. And, it's just all the bands have been really cool, like-minded bands, and the shows have been pretty good turnout so far. So it's been really good.
That's awesome. Good. That's awesome, man. Well, this is, of course, album number 2 for you guys, and I got to say, it's a stellar piece of work. It's been a few years since your first album, Red Flags. What's been happening between that time?
We spent a lot of time writing and recording, saving our money to put it out. A few of us had some family issues that we had to get through. That was kind of like last year, and a couple of us got married. So all normal life things kind of not getting in the way, but we're kind of working it around with the band. And one of the boys, or Ash, the front man, Ashley Jones, he runs his own CrossFit gym. So he was kind of getting that up and running, and he ran into a bit of difficulties there, but he's got that back up and running now. So we kind of just, we'd get going and then we'd stop for a little bit. But most of last year was just spent in the studio on weekends, over a couple of months here and there, just doing chunks, blocks, every when we could fit it in with Reggie Bowman, who produced it and mixed it, and he was engineered and obviously recorded it all. So, yeah, that's what we did for all of 2014, and we played 2 shows. One was a festival at the ESPY, and then I think we played at the end of the year at the ESPY for Christmas or something. And they were the only 2 shows we played last year, so we only played 2 shows, and we concentrated on the recording. So that's what we were doing between the first album and this one.
Keeping busy, of course.
Yeah, keeping busy. There was no slackening off.
Well, it's all worked out by the sounds of things, man. It's because it is a great album. And what is the concept behind Order of the Owl?
It's kind of, we don't like to say it's like a concept album as such. I mean, it is and it isn't. A lot of it is, a lot of the songs are written about. Ash knows, well, he goes into more depth about it, but it's a story that he came up with. We read a lot of books and a lot of stuff on the internet, and we've watched documentaries, and we're friends with like Lucius Borich and all those guys, and Lucius is pretty heavy, obviously, from the COG days of into certain things that are happening with the government and governments and corporations around the world. So Ash came up with this storyline. It's kind of like a movie that he played in his head, that he had in his head, and each song, majority of the songs on the album, all flow into one another. And it's all about this, like the corporations have taken over and governments have collapsed. And in the end, there's like kind of like an apocalypse and the world has kind of ended. And because we've used up all the resources and everything. So all the rich people, everyone that can afford, all the wealthy people go underground. And then above ground are all what we call the ground dwellers. And they're just like the likes of you and me surviving above the ground. So he kind of wrote this storyline in songs like The Order of the Owl and Acid in My Veins, The Eye, The Rivers Will Return. All those songs are kind of are about different parts of this movie that's in his head, and about what's happening with the world. Like, we're kind of just telling it on the way we see it, how things are happening now, 2015, in our perspective. We're not a political band, but we're kind of just bringing out what we're seeing in our music and the lyrics. So that's kind of what it's about. Yeah.
It's a pretty scary thought, though. I mean, it all seems like it's heading that way.
Well, with what's happening at the moment, with everything that's happening over there, still in the Middle East, but then you got all that side of things, and then you've got just on day-to-day stuff, just with all the marketing of all the just everything we're force-fed with, the food that we eat and the chemicals that they're pumping in and putting on fruit and vegetables and all the genetically modified food and all that kind of stuff. And we're pretty we're into our health and fitness and just trying to live healthy. I know there's a lot of bands that are like kind of doing that now. Just seeing what the world is kind of force fed and all the crap that's on like normal daytime, nighttime TV. It's like, what the hell is going on?
I can't watch too much of it, as I can't remember who I was talking to the other night, and similar subject, and I just can't watch the news for more than 5 minutes. It just frustrates me, bums me out. Yeah, I totally agree with you there. It's kind of like you read that stuff, and then you might read something else from that part of the world because you can access it online, and it's kind of like they're just feeding us what the governments want us to know, and everyone's happy with that. And then all of a sudden, the X Factor or The Voice is on to actually take our minds off what's really happening in the world. Yuck. It's not good. I think we need I was talking to someone today actually about we need a Running Man show. Yeah, that would be cool. I don't know if you saw that on Facebook today. I posted the Running Man theme. Cause, no, I didn't. I'll have to go and check it out. Yeah, I had it in my head when I woke up this morning on loop. So I posted it. So I thought, we need a Running Man show. I think that'd be some entertainment. Well, you've released the album independently through your own label. Have you found that there's less pressure taking that approach? Yeah, it means that, we actually have never gone to try and get a record deal or a little deal or see if a label will distribute us or anything like that. We've kind of just thought we'll just do it ourselves, and don't think there's not really anyone, unless there's someone out there listening that is doing heavy rock, hard rock, metal kind. I know the metal scene's kind of cool, but with what we're kind of doing, there hasn't been any like new signings for like years, and so we just decided to create our own record label, start it up as a separate kind of business, and create Anguilla Records, and just put it out through there. We've just sourced the digital distribution channel, and we're in talks with physical distribution. But these days, I mean, you could put your album in JB Hi-Fi and it'll just sit there on the shelf because most people are buying it online anyway. And it's pretty easy if you do a bit of research to find a digital distribution channel to get your music out there onto iTunes and obviously Spotify and all those online places where you can buy the music. Bandcamp is another one that's really cool. So we're on Bandcamp, and you can buy the album digitally, or you can buy it and we can send it out as a physical copy as well. So there's a few things that you can do now where you don't really need a record label, and I guess the record label has got some money behind them to market the album
and to promote it and pay for a publicist and all that kind of stuff. So we actually did that. We saved all the last year and we pulled all of our money in together, and we basically did that. We employed the services of a publicist, which is a guy up your way, Tim Price, and he did the radio and all the media, and I did a fair bit of the other marketing stuff. So you can do it if you do a bit of research and do a bit of asking around and all that kind of stuff. You don't really need a record label per se, and there's not many of them around anyway. So
yeah, you're right, man. There isn't. But as I was saying before, a lot of bands are doing the Bandcamp thing, but setting up their own label, I mean, that's something that it's very rare to hear. So I think that's awesome. You're looking at getting other bands on board and things like that? Yeah.
The goal is to, I guess it's a goal, or the idea is to, we do what we're doing with the Charge and test the waters and see how that goes. And then we've met some cool bands, like we played with this band up in Sydney. You might have heard of them, Red Gazelle. Mm-hmm. They've got some really cool stuff going on, and there's a couple of bands down here in Melbourne, Red Sky Burial and Drover, that we've been talking to, and I've been talking to them about, hey, we're doing this label thing. You guys would suit what we're thinking of doing. So, we can put you out as a distribution channel, and we can get you out there online, and we can, do the Bandcamp page and all that kind of stuff, and we can put a bit of money into PR and marketing through street press, and we've got the community radio contacts and all that kind of stuff. So we're looking at getting some other bands eventually on board, and that'll kind of create. We want to create a scene again, and that's what we're doing when we're playing live. We're playing with like-minded bands. It might not be like-minded music. It might not be the same genre, but it's bands that have got their shit together, and they're wanting to tour and play and promote, and we want to work with them. And if that creates kind of a scene, and when we play live, those days are gone. Those bands that you play a show and they come, they play their set, and then they nick off, and all the people that have bought have nicked off, and then you get on stage and play, and you might be only playing in front of your friends and family that have come, or some fans that you might have. And what we're kind of trying to do is get everyone to stay the night and make a night of it, and have all the bands stay. So if there's 3 or 4 bands and then all the people, then you're probably going to get 100 or so people to your show, and everyone sticks around and has got the same vibe kind of thing.
That's why you got to do it, man. Everyone's got to support everybody. I understand, sometimes, work commitments, family and stuff, but not everybody. It's like if you're going to play a show, you've got to stick it out and support all the other bands. That's just the way it is.
Oh, totally. I mean, don't go play, or you get there, dump your gear off, and then go sit in the bar area on the other side, and then don't watch the first band or the first 2 bands, and then you come back and set your gear up when it's your turn to set up and get up on stage. It's kind of like, if we don't want to play with those bands anymore, it's kind of like, you're not rock stars.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
right.
We're all in it, and if we all work together, we can make something of this.
Exactly, man. I totally agree with you there, dude. Well, we're going to go to the title track from Order of the Owl now, and we'll be back very soon on Rabid Noise.
Hey guys, just want to take a minute to give a shout out to our podcast supporters, RW Promotion, who are the best in the business when it comes to printing posters, flyers, banners, badges, business cards, you name it. They've got what it takes to help you get everything you need to help spread the word about your band or business. And with a blistering turnaround, they'll make sure you get your product ASAP. So get in touch with Richard and the team at www.rwpromotion.com.au or shoot them an email at info@rwpromotion.com.au, Also want to give a shout out to the guys at Blacklight Art and Design, who in my opinion are the Gold Coast best screen printers. So, we've gotten many band shirts and even our own Rabid Noise shirts done through these guys, and they've also got one of the fastest turnarounds I've ever seen. So all quality prints at competitive